We are live from the Brooklyn Fairgrounds, Brooklyn, Connecticut, right here at the oldest agricultural fair running in the United States of America. And to my right here is a former colleague of mine, actually at the State House here in Connecticut, longtime friend, sometimes opposition on opinions, but always agreeing on the right direction towards America, being a veteran himself. Mike France, who's still in the game, running for the 2nd Congressional District seat as a Republican. Mike, how are you?
Excellent. How you doing? Good to see you.
Very well, thank you. And so this thing that has taken you over since you've left the State House and consumed your entire life has been running for Congress here in Connecticut. Why?
Simplistically, I saw the direction that our country was heading, and I saw it was heading the wrong direction, and Joe Courtney was part of that problem. And I couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore and just be spectator to that process, and had to get involved. And as we know, as you did as well, locally at the state level, taking that energy and focusing it to make our country better, our state better, our towns better is what we do when you see something that's wrong.
So this has been driving you for a long time, and I met you a while ago, even before when I was a first selectman, so it goes back to 2013, right, 2012. And the energy even then, I feel like there's a new energy now of that spark. Remember in 2016, when I was elected as the 45th House Rep, ironically the 45th President, just saying, Donald, we know this. And there was an energy in this country. I feel like there's an energy building now. Do you feel as well?
I do, and I commented on it when I ran last cycle. I announced I was running the last cycle. There was energy and excitement that I had not seen in the 10 years that I've been actively involved in politics in Connecticut amongst Republicans. I think that's only building today, where you see that same energy growing with the things that are going on nationally, also what they're seeing at the state level. So I think it's building on what we had before.
Well, obviously building is important, and we have a lot of building in America to do. And Mike, the issues that are really fighting, America is fighting right now is obviously an economy. And I know I used to kind of consider Mike France, when I served in the State House, he was the professor, because he would break down the nuances of laws better than I ever could. And believe me, if anyone tells you they read 3,000 pages of law, they're a liar. Just let me tell you straight up. Maybe he does, I don't know, but I know I certainly never did. So he'd break it down, and usually you understand. Is it all rooted in finances, bad policies? What is the biggest issue that a congressional candidate from the 2nd could actually do for its constituents?
When we're dealing with the economy, the number one thing that we have to fix that is regaining energy independence. The country that controls its own energy policy and establishes that foundation controls their own economy. If we're dependent on countries that don't like us, like Venezuela and Russia and Iran, for our oil, then we are not independent. We are not free to make decisions. We're dependent on them for that. And that's really what's driving costs. Since Biden policy took away our energy independence, we have seen Saudi Arabia cut their production twice significantly, which has driven the cost. You couple that with the inflationary driver that creates, and then we see the Fed get involved in raising interest rates and just compounds the problem even more.
So, again, right back to the finances. I know you go there, and let's kind of, just for the sake of getting you through here at the Brooklyn Fair, where you're obviously campaigning today, and you're out stump, as they say, and you're doing it organically. And I will give you 1,000 credit. You've been charging hard. We met once or twice during this term or this time, and you haven't given up your energy. So I commend you. I also know that there's some challenges going into 2024, and the greatest challenges are the divide in the Republican Party for the party itself. I'm not talking. If you want to get out of a primary, if you want to get elected, you got to fix your house before you can go fix it someone else's. What's your thoughts on how you would go in that direction moving forward?
Well, I think at the end of the day, when you look at it, I think you saw it when you ran for state rep, probably when you ran locally. If you depended on somebody else to be there for you, to win the election for you, it was a fool's errand. You always want the help, but you can't count on it. And the party is no different. I'm hopeful to have greater support this cycle, having demonstrated the success of our last campaign. But you can't count on it. But you need to make the case of the strength of your campaign, and that is the energy that you bring and the team that you surround yourself with at the organic level on the ground.
Do you think, actually, Mike, that you're organically moving things in a direction that can bring those divisions together? And just touch on a few of those. Listen, I want you to sell me, all right? Let's be, and if anyone knows Mike and I, it's probably Mike didn't want to talk to me probably because he thought I was going to talk crap on him, and I'm not talking crap. I respect you, but I know there's things we disagree. But how can we come together? That's what I'm talking about. Because if we don't come together, brother, 2024, it could be the turn in America's history that could destroy this country, and we have to start thinking like that person.
Well, I think how you bring things together is you have to have a message that resonates, and it really is on the ground, in the grassroots, one-on-one, and bringing people along, and then they go to their friends. It really is that simple. I don't know that you can do it from the top down party when you're building up. We all know that from elected office. If you jump into the federal elections as first-time candidate and don't have any other experience, that's not the way you build a brand, build a relationship, build a resume, if you will, that people can believe in. You start at the local level. You understand how the towns in Connecticut work. Then you can move to the legislature and understand how the state works, how that process works, and build those relationships. And once you've proven yourself, then I think you can move on, if it's your call. I think that's the other thing. You have to be called to that action.
I think what we should do is we probably should call to action right now. We should tell everyone to come on down to the Brooklyn Fairground, or even two disagreeing Republican, conservative. Oh, I can't use conservative word anymore. But two people that could disagree on some things can agree that we want to fix America together. And I think you do it by having one of these bison burgers, guys. Where's this from? Hey, Brian. Brian, don't look at my bison burger. You're trying to eat it. Creamery Brook? And this dude is the first selectman?
Yes, Austin Tanner.
He cooks burgers, and he's the first selectman. So we're going to talk to him in a little bit. Mike France, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Kevin.
Go and check out. So go and check out Mike France at where?
VoteMikeFrance.com.
This burger's really good. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All right, we'll be back in a minute, guys. Sorry about the burger.